Short story, Saved at the Nick of Time. Juliet was driving on a dark, deserted highway. Her car's headlights shone the only light to the dark paths in front as she drove home after a long, stressful day at the bank where she worked. The radio was playing a quiet R&B track from Santa Fe. Such quiet, cool tracks helped her calm down and think while she drove home. Then all of a sudden, something caught her eye. From the rearview mirror, she could see a pair of car headlights closing in fast on her in a manner that laced a speck of concern in her otherwise untroubled mind. She attempted to brush it off as just another motorist rushing home, but she became more alarmed as the car rushed closer in a menacing manner. For one thing, the car was swerving dangerously from right to left and back. Secondly, Juliet caught the driver's face and saw it was contorted in what appeared to be rage. And for some reason, the driver's fury seemed directed at her. What to do? What to do? Juliet decided to increase her speed and drive toward the nearest police station half a mile away, but the speed of the car behind seemed to match hers too. Soon the other car was right behind hers, and the enraged driver was tooting its horn in a crazy, erratic manner, waving his left hand and signaling her to pull over. Juliet tried to consciously relax, but her heart was drumming in her chest. It was while she was trying to steady her nerves that the other driver started ramming his car into her car. Two rams and her car was forced off the road, careening dangerously on its way toward a gaping ditch. Juliet tried to control the car, but soon felt it was of no use. Soon the car hit the ditch, and its airbag deployed, hitting her face. She realized within seconds that she was not wounded, but her car was a write-off, at least till the insurance company did something. Then she snapped back to reality to see her assailant's car grind to a screeching halt a few yards away. And all the relief for being alive quickly gave way to an urgent fright, a need for flight away from imminent danger. For the other driver was now walking slowly to her car, a crooked, menacing grin on his face and a rod on his hand. Juliet realized that she had to leave now or she might not be alive for too long. So she tried to unbuckle her seatbelt. It worked, but oh no! The car door refused to open. She tried to reach for her phone and call 911, but crazily it appeared that her phone and good friend had chosen that particular time to play a morbid game of hide-and-seek. Her shaky hands couldn't locate her favorite device in her purse. Panic set in, and Juliet started to breathe like a sprinter after a grueling race. She knew she had to get out of the car before the other driver got to her, but she couldn't seem to open the door. She felt this was it. She felt real danger approach her, and asked herself if this was how it would all end. Since she was young, she had always known that leaving the world was inevitable. But not how. She closed her eyes and prayed silently for a miracle. For sizing up the man approaching her, she doubted if she could match him physically in a wrestling contest. She closed her eyes for the last time. But her body shuddered at the unexpected sound of a gunshot. She opened her eyes to see her assailant scream and fall to the floor, and a policeman quickly approached them, a pistol in his hand. The realization set in. She had been saved. The assailant flailed about in pain as the policeman placed handcuffs on him. Juliet had to go to the hospital to be treated for shock. Epilogue. Juliet woke with a throbbing headache and saw herself on a hospital bed. Everything was white, from the bedsheet to the walls. Doctors and nurses, patients, and their friends and family rushed about in the corridor nearby. As Juliet lay in the hospital bed, it all came flashing back to her. She went over the shocking events of the previous hours. The policeman, whose name turned out to be Nick, said he had been on patrol and just felt a great need to pack his car by the roadside to take in the evening breeze for a bit. It was then that he saw the drama between the two incoming cars. Nick had then reached for his holster while he sensed trouble was about to be unleashed. But neither Juliet nor her assailant had noticed him in their roadside struggle. When the Juliet's car has screeched away from the road and her assailant drove after her, he knew that this would be a busy night, and was suddenly doubly happy he had stopped by that spot to take in the night breeze. To Juliet, Nick was like a real-life angel sent to save her. Was she beginning to feel butterflies in her stomach? But there's Jake. Juliet pondered about all these even as she kept asking herself one question: why the angry stranger had attacked her. This was culled from short stories by Prince Charles Ofakaja